Chupansky, and welcome here on the Holy Ghost Prep campus for a beautiful matchup today between the Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds and the visiting St. Joe's Prep Hawks. Let's get ready for today's game. Firebirds come into this one with a loss yesterday, 7-5. They'll try to rebound today here against St. Joe's with just 4 games left on the season. Just getting ready to start this one here. Time and temperature as we get ready for today's game. We pushed the game back. Well, we moved it up and pushed it back a few times. It was originally scheduled for 5:15, then to 4 o'clock. And here we are at 4:30, right on time. Temperature is about 58 degrees at the start of game time with clouds, sun peeking through a little bit. Also a little windy here on this Saturday afternoon, this Mother's Day Eve. Starting goaltenders for today's game for St. Joe's will be number 28, James Miller. And for the Firebirds, it'll be the superstar stud goalie. Ryan would like me calling him that. Number 11, Ryan Ford. Firebirds lineup is as follows: Gavin McDonough, Mike Dombrowski, Will McCann, Frankie Britch, Luke Slavin, Max Rittenmeyer, Jason Sewell, CJ Walker, and Jack Grabner. And then, of course, Ryan Ford in goal. For St. Joe's, it is Grant Snyder, Scott O'Connor, Tyler Peterson, Mitchell Lloyd, Ryan Gaffney, Blake Helligman, Aiden Connor, Aiden Barrett, Bennett Davis, and James Miller in the crease for St. Joe's. We get ready for the face-off. Frankie Britch out there, as he always does for Holy Ghost Prep, taking the face-off. And we get ready on this cloudy, somewhat windy Saturday afternoon. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the live stream as we get started here on this Saturday afternoon. Face-off is at center, just waiting on the ref to drop the ball and get us started here today. Getting started at 4:33 as the ball is dropped and the whistle is sounded. We're ready for play. Face-off was tipped towards the St. Joe's midfielder as St. Joe's will start with possession of the ball here as they run towards Ryan Ford and the Holy Ghost Prep defense. Now behind the net, number 14, Tyler Peterson with it for the Hawks. Now out in front. Now I will have to say, St. Joe's did not give me a numbered roster today, so I am basing it off of their website, A, and B, the starting lineup. So if there are numbers or goals that are scored, I apologize. I was not given the roster today. That's what happens when game times gets moved out. Out in front, shot was taken by number 29, Mitchell Lloyd. Good save by Ryan Ford. Firebirds rush it up the other way as the ball is now in the hands of Sean McLaughlin. McLaughlin to Rittenmeyer. Sorry, that was Dave Dombrowski. Dombrowski to Rittenmeyer. Max has a couple hat tricks already on the season to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to McCann in the corner behind the net. Shifting is Dombrowski to the right of Miller. Back out in front towards Rittenmeyer. Rittenmeyer gives it off to Jason Samarin. Samarin to McLaughlin. Firebirds now get set up behind the crease. It's Gavin McDonough. McDonough back out to Dombrowski, who gives it off to Rittenmeyer. So Firebirds, there's a shot taken there by Rittenmeyer. Good save by James Miller. He will have it for St. Joe's Prep. St. Joe's Prep in the away maroon jerseys takes it up past midfield. Ball is currently in the hands of Ryan Gaffney. Gaffney charges towards Ford, then slows down, puts on the brakes. Firebirds, of course, in the home whites. Today here on this Saturday afternoon, Gaffney now will take a pause as St. Joe's will get a fresh player legs here on the field. Mitchell Lloyd back out to Gaffney. Gaffney back underneath. They go behind the net of Ryan Ford. St. Joe's getting some passing action. Once again, is Holy Ghost Prep set up. Good defense. Right now, there's a shot taken by number 14. Do not have a, oh, sorry, my bad. That is Tyler Peterson. The shot taken now out in front. St. Joe's keeps it here with a little bit less than 10 minutes to play. Comes out in front towards the crease. Just maybe getting a piece of that was Ryan Ford as it tipped off his stick. And that'll be the first, well, the second huge test of the day for Ryan Ford, who's been so good this whole season for Holy Ghost Prep. St. Joe's with possession of it behind the net of Ford. Back out towards number 22, Scott O'Connor. Shot was lined up, it was faked, and it was eventually taken. It was by number 5, Ryan Gaffney. St. Joe's will keep the ball here. Underneath, St. Joe's maneuvering around. There's a shot taken, and it goes just wide of Ryan Ford to the right. Shot there was taken by number 22, Scott O'Connor. So both teams with some offensive chances here early on. Neither has been able to find the back of the net. O'Connor passes it out, and it will go wide off a stick, and it will go out of play. St. Joe's will once again keep the ball with 9 minutes left to go here in this first quarter of action. Holy Ghost Prep taking on St. Joe's Prep, two prep schools with a duel here on this Saturday afternoon. Peterson inbounds the ball here. St. Joe's maneuvering around back to Peterson. He was just able to pick up that ball. Doing so many sports, sometimes gets a little confusing here. There's a shot taken by number 5, Ryan Gaffney. Good save by Ryan Ford. So Ford now passes up to Rittmeyer. Rittmeyer surveys the situation, gets it down midfield. There to pick it up is Michael Holt. Holt turned it over to a St. Joe's Prep midfielder, and now they rush once again on attack towards Ryan Ford. I believe the ball is in the hands of Scott O'Connor. It is. Back out to Ryan Gaffney. Gaffney now surveys situation once again in front of the Holy Ghost Prep defense. 8 minutes and 20 seconds left here in this 0-0 game. Left here in the first quarter. St. Joe's now makes a couple changes as they get some fresh legs out here on the field. Ball is right now in the hands. Maneuvering it is number 7 again. St. Joe's did not give me a full numbered roster, so not quite sure who that is, but number 7 in the maroon surveys the situation, goes behind the net to O'Connor. He's been busy early here. O'Connor sweeps, gives it back out. There's to number 33. He gives it back out to number 1 again. Not all numbers given here. Ford came out of the crease there, tried to get a piece of it, could not. St. Joe's Prep with a substantial amount of offensive zone time within the past couple minutes here as they still have the ball. Already taking a few shots on Ryan Ford. St. Joe's still keeps it. Good defense there by Rittmeyer behind the net. Good piece by Jason Sewell, who is out. Can he handle it? He has 2 St. Joe's attackmen on him, but he'll get it off. Does Sewell to Ryan Ford, who will come out of his net, and Ford now has it. We'll give it off to C.J. Walker, who will now walk it up for the Firebirds. 0-0 game with a little bit more than 7 minutes left here in this first quarter. Holy Ghost Prep taking on St. Joe's Prep. Firebirds rush it. Walker still has it for Holy Ghost. Walker looks to get the Firebirds set up. Now gives off a little pass to his right. Coming out is Sean McLaughlin. C.J. Walker will head back to defense. Will McCann has it for Holy Ghost. McCann to Samarin. The freshman now surveys the situation. Gives it behind the net for Holy Ghost to McDonough. McDonough gives it off to Holt. That is not Holt. That's McCann. My bad. McCann to Britch. Britch now back to McCann. McCann did not take the shot. Gives it off. So now Firebirds going to have some offensive time here against James Miller, the netminder for St. Joe's Prep. McLaughlin off to Britch. Britch to McCann. McCann now gives it off to the right. Now behind the net go the Firebirds. McDonough gives it off to McLaughlin. Shot was not taken. It was then taken a little bit later as he was able to get around a St. Joe's Prep defenseman. And the ball went wide of Miller, and it goes out of bounds. Holy Ghost Prep will keep with 6 minutes and 18 seconds left here in the first quarter of a 0-0 game between the Firebirds and St. Joe's Prep. Firebirds going to try to respond after a tough loss yesterday. McCann behind the net to McDonough. McDonough looks for Samarin. Samarin did drop the ball, but he is back to pick it up. 6 minutes now left here in the first quarter, 0-0 here on this Saturday afternoon. Britch gives it off to McCann. McCann goes once again behind the net to McDonough. McDonough to Samarin. Samarin thought about sweeping around the defenseman, did not. Instead, he gives it off to the senior McLaughlin. McLaughlin already took one shot just about 30 seconds ago. Behind the net to McDonough. McDonough to Samarin. Samarin back to McDonough. Little pass behind James Miller. Shot taken by Mike Dombrowski. It was missed. Firebirds now going to fight for it with the Hawks close to midfield. Jerseys are really battling for it out there. Firebirds trying to come up with clean possession, and they do. Good job by Will McCann, who keeps it for the Firebirds. McCann now rushes with speed and settle things down. He does have Gavin McDonough on the behind Miller now. Firebirds have it in the hands of Samarin. Samarin now gives off a pass as rain begins to drizzle here on this Saturday afternoon. 5 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. 0-0 game. Gavin McDonough has it for the Firebirds. Now Firebirds make a quick change as Rittmeyer comes back off the bench for Holy Ghost. Rittmeyer has it back up to Samarin. Dombrowski to his right. Now Samarin gives it off to Dombrowski. Firebirds trying to get something behind James Miller here with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. They give it off to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to McCann. McCann gives it off to Rittmeyer. Takes a shot, and it was, I believe, saved by James Miller, but it was picked up by a Holy Ghost Prep. That's Gavin McDonough. McDonough to McLaughlin, McLaughlin to Samarin, Samarin to Dombrowski, back to McDonough, who plays behind the net of Miller. Rittmeyer lines up the shot. He takes it. It's off the leg of Miller. Firebirds fight for it, and over to pick it up is McDonough, who will keep. McDonough with speed rushes behind the net of Miller. Tried to get off a pass, I believe, to Samarin. He couldn't do so, and now St. Joe's Prep is there to pick it up. It's Aiden Barrett who has it. He'll give it off to James Miller. Miller gives it off to his fellow defenseman, Aiden Connor. Good pressure there by McDonough. But St. Joe's will keep it as they rush towards midfield with less than 4 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. 0-0 game. Firebirds taking on St. Joe's Prep. And timeout will be called by St. Joe's Prep. They'll take a timeout, and so will we on the YouTube channel. 0-0 game here between the battle of two prep schools. We'll be right back. Welcome back here after St. Joe's Prep calls timeout. They'll have possession with it after this timeout. Quick timeout. St. Joe's and Holy Ghost. Back here on this Saturday afternoon, 0-0 game here on the Holy Ghost Prep YouTube channel. David Shapansky with you here. The live chat is up and running. Producer Matt is going to watch that, so any questions, comments, positive feedback is always welcome on the live chat. St. Joe's once again going to start with it in the hands of Blake Kelligman. He'll give it behind the net. So the Firebirds, if you're just joining us, and St. Joe's Prep have both had a good amount of offensive chances here early on here. Both goaltenders have been pretty good. The defense for both teams has also been very good. St. Joe's with it out in front. That's number 22, Scott O'Connor. He takes the shot. It bounces in front of Ford and goes behind him. And going to inbound it here, play number 14, Tyler Peterson. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to play here in the first quarter of action. 0-0 game. Battle of the two prep schools, Holy Ghost Prep and St. Joe's Prep. O'Connor gives it off for a high shot taken by number 5, Ryan Gaffney. Had a good amount of velocity behind it, but went well above Ryan Ford, the netminder for the Firebirds. Peterson inbounds it to Helligman, back out for a shot that was taken by number 22, Scott O'Connor. It was tipped by a Holy Ghost Prep defenseman, but St. Joe's is there once again to pick it up. Mitchell Lloyd has it for the Hawks. He'll give it off to Helligman, back out in front towards O'Connor. He'll pass it off to his left. O'Connor gets it back. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left here in this first quarter. Pass was dropped by, I believe that's Mitchell Lloyd. There's a high pass that sails well over the head of Blake Kelligman, and the Firebirds will pick it up once again in this 0-0 game. Both teams once again with good offensive chances, but the netminders and the defense have been the story here early on this Saturday afternoon. Luke Slavin with it for Holy Ghost. Ford comes out of his net as he'll walk it up with the Firebirds. Slavin with a crossfield pass to McLaughlin, his fellow senior counterpart. Off to McCann. McCann surveys the situation. He was kind of pushed down there. St. Joe's not able to pick it up. Firebirds will get back possession of the ball closer to midfield. Rittmeyer off to Dombrowski. Dombrowski enters the zone. Dombrowski looks behind the net for McDonough. 2 minutes left to play here in this first quarter. 0-0 game between Holy Ghost Prep and St. Joe's Prep. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the stream. Again, live chat is available and functioning here on this Saturday afternoon, so any comments, positive feedback is always welcome. Behind the net towards McDonough. McDonough now gives it off closer in front of the net to Frankie Britch. Britch back to McDonough. Gavin now gives it off to Mike Dombrowski. Dombrowski to McLaughlin. Surveys the situation. Was thinking about going around a defenseman, but did not. Back out to Britch. Britch gives it off to Will McCann. Back to Frankie, to McLaughlin. Firebirds just trying to line up a shot here. Dombrowski behind the net to Gavin McDonough. Once again settles things down here for Holy Ghost. Will McCann has it. Closer towards the center. Pass there to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to Britch. Back out to McCann. McCann behind the net with a little bit more than 60 seconds left here. Back out to Max Rittmeyer. Was thinking about the shot, but then stepped back. Gets around the defenseman, but staying with him there. Firebirds still with the ball. Less than 60 seconds left to play here in this first quarter. Firebirds trying to find the back of the net. McLaughlin was thinking about stepping around, but then pulled back. To Rittmeyer now to his left. Back to McDonough behind the net. Gavin trying to get the Firebirds set up here for a good shot. McDonough tries to work around. He was pulled down there, and will now have a stoppage of play as St. Joe's, I believe, will take over with the ball. There's a stoppage here. I know that McDonough is kind of pulled down. They're not quite sure what this is. I don't know if it's a penalty or not. I didn't see a flag on the play. So there's 34 seconds left to play here in this first quarter. Nothing game between St. Joe's and Holy Ghost Prep here on this Saturday afternoon. So the refs are meeting up to determine exactly what is going to be the call here on this play. Now, it does look like St. Joe's Prep will take over possession. They will not, as Holy Ghost Prep will pick up the ball. So a weird call was made there. I'm not quite sure. I know it was a stoppage of play. I didn't think the ball went out of bounds. It didn't. It was just behind the net of James Miller, who's the goaltender for St. Joe's. But Firebirds will keep it here with 34 seconds. At least I believe that's the call. And now looks like the St. Joe's Prep coach is not too happy with that decision. And they'll make a couple changes here, try to get some more defensemen out on the field, do the Hawks. So Firebirds start up here. Refs still trying to decide what the call is going to be. They have not blown the whistle yet, and they will now do so. Mike Dombrowski starts with the ball for Holy Ghost. 30 seconds left to play. Behind the net to McDonough. Wind starts to pick up here on the Holy Ghost Prep campus. McDonough to Rittmeyer. Rittmeyer lines up for the shot and takes a good save by James Miller. He'll give it off downfield, and good defense there by Sean McLaughlin. Trying to get the pass off was Miller, who could not get it, but St. Joe's Prep does have the ball. Less than 10 seconds left to play. Shot was taken out in front, and they score. St. Joe's Prep goal scored by number 10. I unfortunately do not have a number for St. Joe's Prep number 10. I do not have the roster in terms of their numbers, but it is a 1-0 lead for St. Joe's Prep. So St. Joe's Prep with a shot right in front of Ryan Ford, gets past him, and the Hawks will take a 1-0 lead. Less than 5 seconds left to play. Firebirds were not able to keep St. Joe's Prep off the scoring sheet here in the first quarter, and the wind has almost blown over our camera here. It's at midfield. There is no time left. The shot is taken, and good defense there by Luke Slavin, who may have got a piece of that. But St. Joe's Prep does score a goal to take a 1-0 lead. Our camera is being blown over as the wind picks up here on this Saturday afternoon. We'll be right back. 1-0 lead for the visiting St. Joe's Prep Hawks. Welcome back here as we're going to get started for the second quarter in just a little bit. David Chmansky with you, the voice of the Firebirds. Matt is trying to fix the camera here for us. The camera was blown over by wind at the end of the first quarter. We were able to save it, though, so the cords didn't exactly get too tangled up or come out. So we're still good. We're still live. 1-0 lead for St. Joe's Prep. The only goal scored in that quarter was by number 10. Now, I will admit, I do not have a full number roster for St. Joe's Prep. So if you're just joining us and you're wondering why I may say the number once in a while for St. Joe's, it is because I simply do not have their name. But I do have the starting lineups for both teams. So if they're in the starting lineup, I will announce it. Of course, I do have the Holy Ghost Prep full roster. So just something to keep in mind, that if I say number 10, it's not because I don't know their name or trying to be rude. It's just simply because of the fact, well, I don't know their name and I don't have the roster. But 1-0 lead for St. Joe's as we get started here. The rain is now starting to fall. Got really windy and now it's stayed the same pretty much. Again, the live chat is functioning. I believe Matt is chatting something there. Face off, and we're back out here for the second quarter. Stoppage of play is called, and St. Joe's Prep will pick up the ball, but there is a flag that will be called, I believe, here against the Firebirds. And it will go against Frankie Britch. I would imagine it will be unsportsmanlike conduct. And we'll see exactly what the call is. So Frankie Britch goes off of the field for the Firebirds, and they'll start a man down as we get ready. Here in the second quarter, you do not want to take a penalty just 6 seconds in. St. Joe's with a shot taken by Ryan Gaffney. It goes just wide and to the left of Ryan Ford. St. Joe's will keep possession of the ball. Back out to Gaffney. Gaffney gives it off to O'Connor. O'Connor to his right. Faking the shot there was number 23. Back out, closer in front of Ford, sweeping behind the net. In front towards Gaffney. Gaffney to O'Connor. O'Connor lines for a high velocity shot and scores 2-0 St. Joe's Prep. So St. Joe's Prep extends their lead to 2-0 over the Firebirds. Goal scored just 31 seconds in by number 22, Scott O'Connor. Firebirds will look to respond. That's not exactly the way that head coach Ryan Tessler wanted his guys to start out. Wind is really picking up here, so if the camera does fall over once again, we do apologize. The wind is not exactly treating us well here on this Saturday afternoon. Face-off is won by the Hawks, and that is an unusual experience because Frankie Britch usually wins, well, 99% of them. Hawks have it. Scott O'Connor just scored the goal, gives it off behind the net to Peterson. Peterson back to O'Connor. O'Connor gives it back out in front towards a midfielder for St. Joe's Prep. And now they'll make a change, get some fresh legs out on the field. Lloyd gives it off to Gaffney. Gaffney surveys the scene, gives it off to Heligman. Back behind the net for St. Joe's as they may sweep here. Good defense by Frankie Britch. A little bit more than 10 minutes left to play, and we'll have a stoppage of play. Here's the whistle of sound by the refs. The Firebirds will take over possession of the ball. 2-0 lead for St. Joe's Prep. If you're just joining us here on the Saturday afternoon, don't forget to like and subscribe to the live stream. Ryan Ford comes out of his net, gives the ball off to C.J. Walker. Walker back to Ford, and it was lost by Ryan Ford, who came out of the net, and now St. Joe's has pretty much an empty net to fire on. But good thing there is Scott O'Connor couldn't keep that puck in his net to get the shot off, and Ford is able to get back to be the netminder for the Firebirds. Dangerous play there, but Holy Ghost can live to tell about it. Gaffney has it for St. Joe's in the maroon jerseys as the rain now begins to fall. Something that we were not looking forward to as the clouds really overshadowing the field here right now. To the right, pass for St. Joe's. They may sweep here behind the net of Ford. Out in front, good pass there. O'Connor faked the shot, lined up by Gaffney. Good job to use the body in the net of Ryan Ford, who keeps Holy Ghost just down by 2. Ball was not able to be completely picked up by Rittmeyer, but he has it now. Rittmeyer storms to midfield for Holy Ghost. Cross-field pass to Luke Slavin. It couldn't be picked up, but the Firebirds are going to try to win it here on a ground ball, and they do. Sean McLaughlin has it for the Firebirds. Try to get a pass off, and this is just very sloppy lacrosse right now. Firebirds, though, do pick it up, and we'll have a stoppage of play and we'll see what the call is. Rain now really beginning to fall here on the Holy Ghost Prep campus. I believe it's a timeout for Holy Ghost Prep, and uh-oh, rain's coming down. Maybe we're in the midst of a thunderstorm. We'll be right back here on the Holy Ghost Prep YouTube channel.